Hey, how's it, Rassi? How's it, Rassi? Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been talking to this Gerrie guy you recommended. Yeah, no, he's a good coach. Yeah, good accolades. He's got some interesting stuff to say, but yeah, bro, I don't think he's a Bulls fan. I think that's a bit cock. I think he supports Province or something like that, dude. And we can't deal with these kind of people, bro. Yeah, man. Now what? I gotta talk to him for like another 25, 30 minutes. Yeah, Rassi, man, Johan, you gotta give me proper people. Alright, but I think he's coming back now. Nothing but love and respect. Love you. Hey, love you. Love you. You won the World Cup. Alright, yeah, let me go deal with this guy. Alright, cheers, Rassi. Hey, Gerrie!
On the inside, did he call for the ball? Was it on? Yes or no? And in that instance, I think it wasn't on. It was that oak was in between them all day. Like you had to throw like a double skip offload to get it to someone. Yeah. So in essence, that was a bad decision. It was as simple as that. And I think you go to a player say, you made a decision, wrong decision, let's move on. Next time, if we're now at 22 with that scoreline, remember, what do we look for? We look for is the support on your inside. If they're not there, it's going to touch. No harm, no foul. And I think you need to grow out of that situation. You can't tell the player, stop it, never offload again. Because now, maybe one day now he runs down the touchline, he gets smoked, it was an easy inside pass, we score. So you need to just harness their decision-making ability. Like, did you chance your arm there, or was it a good decision? And a good decision would be, was there communication from the inside? Did you really see the guy? The score was tied. If we maybe went into touch, we would have stolen their line-out ball. Like, just need to make sure that he's thinking, okay, next time I'll look for this, and that. Yeah. That will make me not pass an intercept offload or whatever.
Yeah, keep them part of the process.
So, yeah, I think you hit it spot on there. They must be part of the process. Must be.
So I think a bit earlier you were talking about not trying, with your coaching philosophy, you said, in the game, you don't want to be banging your head and trying things that aren't working. And I kind of thought the Canes did that, because the Canes line-out is cut. I'm just going to say, I'm just so, and it upsets me, because I like the line-outs. I love line-outs. You got to get them right. And I felt like at times they went for touch when it's like, no, just kick for goals, or at least tap. But now, what do you do when you're in the situation? Because lineouts are going to happen. And now you're in the tournament. You're 2 games into the tournament. You know your lineouts are gone. I mean, what do you say to the players? Like, look, when you're in the game, how are we going to manage that? Like, if you're the Canes coach, what's your approach?
My approach now would be like, we need to get some variation in our lineouts. Because I think they're trying to hit quite the same 4-ball, 2-ball, 4-ball. So I'll just try and change it up, shorten the lineouts, maybe make the lineouts quicker, give the defensive team less time to set. Because I think they gave the Crusaders quite a lot of time to set. And I mean, you are jumping against Sam Whitelock, who's an All Black lock. He knows his stuff. He's a good competing lock. So I would maybe just work on little things like, let's get quicker to the lineout. We know our lineout is simple. Let's go get there. As soon as Colsey hits, or as soon as Colsey stands, we need to hit it. Because I think they're giving too much time for opposition to contest. And I'll make the lineouts a bit shorter. I'll get away with 5. I'll go to 4-man, 5-man. Maybe, just change it up a bit, to be honest. And the other thing I'll try and do now is you can't create panic. You can't say, okay, tomorrow all we're doing is lineouts for 6 hours. Like, you say, these few things will change it. And maybe just look to change it up a bit, like get that hurricane flare again, like once or twice have a run, just to keep teams on their toes, and after that you go to touch. But I think they got kind of predictable in their layout, and the Crusaders were on point with their contesting, to be honest. So I'll maybe speed the game up a bit, play with a bit more tempo in the lineout, not wait so long, and then just have a go a bit, quick tap, get them on the back foot. Not always rely so much on the line-out set piece. But you need to be careful as a coach now, because if you start saying quick tap, you start saying to the forwards, you don't trust them in the line-out. So you just need to be careful how you play that. But I'll definitely try and change it up a bit. Just change a few things, maybe throw a bit back ball, like just put some flavour in there, because at the present moment, they got unstuck a bit against the Crusaders.
Yeah. I think I want to ask a bit, and I want you to give the Canes the benefit of the doubt now, and be like, because there were times where, and like I said, the lineup was stuck, and I think they know their lineup isn't that great, but there were times where they're going for poles, and Gordon Bashir was kicking nicely, going for poles was keeping them in the game, but they still chose to go for the lineup. I think it might have been 60th, 65th or 67th.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, what do you think the thinking was for them in that moment? You know, why do you think they didn't go for poles?
I think for them it was maybe the safe option. Like more get a penalty, then we'll go for poles, we're closer.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was high pressure. Like we're here in the 22, let's camp now. We're happy with our points the way it is. So let's create pressure. Let's build pressure. We haven't been in the 22 for too much or too long. So let's get the ball and we stay here for a couple of minutes and we just create pressure. And if it works, it works. But if it doesn't, you get away with absolutely 0 points.
Yeah.
Which, if that happens, it can have quite a big blow on the players, mentally.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been ripping the Hurricanes for a little bit now. Let's talk about the Crusaders, because, I mean, those guys are good, And I think, just generally speaking, because when I watch it, I struggle to pin the Crusaders down. Because it just looks like everything works, with those guys. But, like, what for you is the one thing that they're doing that's making it hard for other teams, that's letting them be clearly superior to these other teams?
I think the Crusaders is like, for me, if we spoke about safe players, they're like an incredibly safe team. Like, their scrums are tough. They're hard. Their lineouts are 90% golden. Their backs, they come at you. They run, they pass. Everything they do is of very high quality. Like, they don't get unstuck too many times. And they're a great team in the sense that they can take a shitload of pressure. They can be on the line. The teams will give away penalty. The Crusaders, they gave away a few against the Hurricanes, but they give away, the ref speaks to them, then all of a sudden they give away no penalties. So they work very nicely within the laws, and I think it's a very hard-working team. Like, you can see Oaks like Sam Whitelock, Jack Goodhue, those Oaks, they know their job, and they work incredibly hard on catching up on the inside, support on the inside, those little things. I think they're very, very hard on those little details. You look at that wing they have, George Bridge.
Yeah.
He's maybe, we spoke about this to length today, he's maybe not the most flary guy out there. Definitely not in New Zealand. But he does not do much wrong.
Yeah.
He's great. Like, they detail on what they do. They know what they need to do to beat you, and they're very much comfortable with the way they play.
Yeah.
They're not changing the way they play for you. They put you under pressure and they come at you, and they're very good with playing within the laws. They'll put their hands in as many times as they can, and before the ball comes from you, they'll change. They're very. You spoke about teams that hit their head, and you feel like the Crusaders will never really hit their head on attack. I think you've seen it with New Zealand as well. Like, they'll attack and people will go, why are they grubbing? Why are they grubbing the whole time? It's not working. Second half, they change it. All of a sudden, the attack change it. That now works. But it's because they attack full effect. Like, the Crusaders will probably play inside ball, and then Oaks will start worrying about that. Then they start playing wide. Then they get space there. Worry about that. Then they put the wings up. Then they start chipping, and Mwanga starts cross-kicking. So they always play for something. They don't just attack to attack. They play like, they get you worried about one thing, and then they change. Get you worried about that, then they change. And New Zealand also, with Richie McCaw, those years where they were unbeatable, they also done it quite nicely. They'll do a certain thing to a team, and they did it a lot with South Africa. They'll attack in the middle. All of a sudden, this cross kicks comes, and all this type of things. And now the cross kick comes, then space opens up in the middle again. They play very nicely with that. I think the Crusaders has also got that down to a T a bit at this present moment.
Yeah. I wanna ask you a bit about that. I think I'm gonna make it about you again, especially Varsity Cup wise, because I remember, and I'll be watching this in 2015, and I felt like Tucks in 2015 could do that. one moment they're running. Then next thing they're just kicking. And you're like, that's changing a bit. And I also feel like it was 2015, Paul Boys was able to do that because they played St. John's once and they were running doing the Paul Boys thing. And then we had a wing. They kicked to them one time and the wing dropped the sitter. And it was the weirdest thing. All of a sudden they're like, okay, boom, boom, boom. Is that, is that something that you feel like is in the pocket with UCT, that if you dare start making those kind of mistakes, we'll be able to do that? Or do you guys sort of have a different approach?
No, I think we're starting, I do like that way of coaching. So we're starting to get there. It's a process. It's not overnight, but we definitely are. A simple thing against Wits. So Wits defend kind of like Gerrie, that is now with the Bulls. They defend with their spacing. They're very worried about the spacing. So we said, okay, as soon as a guy makes contact, we need to come in there because the defense will just hang out wide the whole time. So you saw that against Wits, we got a lot of offloads away, a lot of stepping on the inside. So we're all starting to try and attack the weakness, and we got it right more or less, but not as we should, and I think not changing as we can. So, but it's been introduced, and it's a thing that will just slowly grow and get more confidence the more we coach it as well. Yeah. So, for example, like I don't know if you watched the Maltese game compared to other games. So the Maltese game is quite deliberately see. UCT in the other games, we did not pass out the back with the forward as much. Like that, where the 3 forwards run off 9, then he passes to 10. Yeah. So against Maltese, it's basically all we did. We went out the back because we knew they have a very much hard line speed, but they commit from the outside. So if we get the ball outside 13, there's space. Yeah. And that's what was such a frustrating game for me, because we actually manipulated everything quite good. We just didn't get the points. We either knocked the ball on, we lost it on the ground. So, but we were really good with that. And I think it's a part of UCT's game. That's really, can't give them a lot of ball, and you can't give them a lot of territorial possession. Like, you can't, like, say simple, we kick off to the Crusaders. They get a penalty, they kick us back in our own half. That to me is poison. If you give the Crusaders that, I think you're having an insanely tough day. Yeah, so if the Blues can be disciplined, I think the Blues will. I think it's going to be a very exciting game.
Yeah, that's exciting times. Thanks for that. That's Zealand Rugby, Aotearoa. Gerrie, before you leave us now, I like to have those closing chats, because you're a coach, through and through. So just 2 pointers. One, now you're coaching at a pretty high level, UCT. What do you want to see, like, other than being really good at rugby? If there's a kid from UCT that comes up and wants to play for that first team, what kind of stuff do they need to be bringing to the table? And what do they need to be able to do other than being brilliant? And then the second point, any advice for someone who wants to be coaching, because you're a coach? What's something that you need to be sharp about that you mustn't let slip away from you?
Okay. First question, like a question. My thing is, for me, if I see a player or a person, it doesn't really matter. I want to see excitement. I want to see a guy that, he wants to be there. He's not really, if he's not first team, he's not first team. But a guy, you don't see that often, where Oaks are like, I'm happy with playing 30. I'm not saying you have to be happy, but that excitement of just being there, just being involved. And the one thing I like as well is if players ask questions, because the main thing for you is you want to get better. So like, coach, what do I need to do better? I'm not talking about gym or go bench. I'm talking about game-wise. Do I need to pass more, pass less? What do I need to do? But the personality trait for me is excitement. Is that I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to stay 2 hours here. I'm just going to put energy into this. And that I love. That, like, you can see a player, he's just keen. He's actually, he's so keen, he's actually irritated. It's like, geez, calm down, it's practice. Yeah. I like that, and I like a guy that can take the knocks. Like, hey, it didn't work out for me today. I'll learn, I'll get better. I'll come back to you on Thursday, harder and better. Because life is shittier. Like, you look at this COVID-19, there's hard knocks. You need to be able to take some knocks and stand up. And I think if you have those two players, energy and that trait, I love that. I think it's very easy to work with. As a coach, it's so nice to see a guy just excited. I'm just happy to be here. I have a smile. I'm keen, because there's a lot of depression sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Thanks for that. And then coaching wise,
yep. Coaching wise for me, I'll be probably a little bit against the grain here. I know people is always going to say, as a coach, you always need to learn. Like it's simple. It's like anything in life. You study, you become better, you learn, you read, you develop. Yeah, I'm not the same coach I was when I was 19. Definitely not.
Yeah.
But I think of the game the same way. I'm very hardcore in my beliefs. Like I learn and I take what I want, but bro, the way I see rugby is the way I see rugby. So if me and you argue, I see rugby my way, and this is the way I like it. And I think for a young coach, don't be too get influences, but don't be too much. Be yourself. What do you like? Like we just had a debate, and you said, "I like this guy," and that is what we need to see more of in South Africa. It's like, fuck, I'm a South African. I'm a South African coach. This is the way I coach. This is the way I see it. I'm not shy, not apologetic about it. This is the way I do things. And so what? I've got success. I'll grow. I'll get better. But I think we sometimes see ourselves at the bottom of the rugby coaching spectrum, and we follow, like, simple example, we follow England quite a lot. Like, and for me, honest, like England, I don't want to play like England. I also don't want to play like or Saracens. They sit with international players. So they coach philosophy. Yeah, do your thing. But that's not my thing. So I think for coach, have your own style. And by meaning by own style, I'm not talking about passing, but have your own look at how you like things. Like, I like a thing like this, I like a thing like that. Because that makes you unique. And when you're unique, you get results and you get buy-in from players. But if you're doing the same thing, also when I talk rugby and I talk like other guys' things, I'm not that passionate. But when I talk my way and I talk about things I like, players can see that, hey, he knows his stuff, he loves his stuff, he's energetic about it. And that to me is the big thing. Like, coaches love to copy and paste as well sometimes. Like, you know, they take other guys' idea. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm a fan of learn. You have to learn. You have to get better. But who are you? Why do you coach this way? What made you coach this way? Like, find out what you like about rugby and harness that. Because bro, you're going to get clever oaks. UCT has a lot of clever oaks. Oaks are going to ask you a bunch of questions, and if you don't really believe in what you do, you're going to get found wanting. And like, I feel like, you need to be pretty sure on the way you want to coach. And like, I just see a couple of young coaches like I met through my life, and like they coach much higher than me, so they've got great success that way. But they're just following the norm. It's just that's the norm. I do that, and I'm not completely like that. I always think, like in anything in life, you have to push the limits. You have to. It's not your job. It's your right. You have to go and say, how do I change this? How do I make this exciting? Like, Oaks must watch a game and say, geez, this is new. This is fresh. Why are they doing this? And that's the way I like to see rugby, to be honest. So that's my one tip. It's a very long tip. Be yourself and have your own way. And you can always get better, but definitely have your own way in how you coach rugby. And don't get too stargazed. Don't go, but England does this, New Zealand does this. Find the way you like. Grow a backbone and say, I like this. Like, you know me, I attack. I like no kicking and things like that. And at UCT, Varsity Cup level, you have to grow as well. I have to sometimes say, Tom, okay, I understand, we have to kick. You have to, but you always have to be that coach that says, hey, we need to attack more. We need to have a go more. And you also learn that you can't always have your way. So it's a good thing, I think.
Well, thanks for that, Gerrie. Thanks for the wisdom, and that's the game line. Hopefully next week we'll have something else.
Thanks for having me on the show. Love it.